In this video, we're talking about an extremely influential design style you've probably used whether you know it or not. It's minimal, functional, and still feels incredibly modern more than 100 years later, and that's Bauhaus design. Yet another word I get roasted constantly for my pronunciation. Bauhaus is more than an architectural style. It's a design philosophy that's completely changed the way we think about art and design. Even if you've never studied design, you've seen this style everywhere. Logos, posters, product design, even layouts of the apps you probably use every single day. So we're gonna go over 6 key features that make this style so influential and also walk through how you can start using this style in your own projects. But first, we need some background. The Bauhaus was an art school founded in 1919 in Weimar, Germany by architect Walter Gropius. Not entirely sure how to say that. You let me know in the comments. But this wasn't just an art school. This was a rejection of how art and design were being taught at the time, which is what makes this very symbolic. So the school motto, translated from German, is art and technology, a new unity. And this reflected the school's core principle of merging art, craft, and technology to create designs that were both functional and aesthetically pleasing. So we have painters, sculptors, furniture makers, metalworkers, all coming together to create a new unified vision of design. And one of the more important things to note here is that Bauhaus style eliminates excessive decoration and ornate details from the designs across the industry so that they can focus instead on core principles like function, simplicity, and beauty that serves a specific purpose. And keep in mind, this was coming off the tail end of World War I, in a world where rationality and practicality was welcomed and simplicity felt needed. And in just a short time, the Bauhaus started a movement that left a massive impact. It became the blueprint for modern design and specific design styles, such as mid-century and Swiss design, which we've also talked about here on the channel, and I would encourage you to go give those videos a watch after this one. I will link them in the description for you. So the influence of Bauhaus spread beyond architecture and art and impacted the entire larger field of graphic design. It's in your IKEA furniture, your subway signage, the websites you use, book covers, menus, product packaging, and so much more. It's always been particularly popular for poster design because of its boldness and clear legibility. All right, let's break down those 6 key features that will help you confidently create this style. To start with number 1, we have the mantra form follows function, and this is the guiding principle of Bauhaus design. In other words, no decoration for decoration's sake. Every visual choice needs a reason. So if you're designing a poster, every line, every color, every typeface should serve the message you're communicating. If you're making a chair, then every curve, every joint should make it more usable, not just look fancy. So if it doesn't serve the purpose of the design, then the best rule of thumb is to kind of leave it out. Fancy floral borders, we don't need them. Filigree, nope. Elaborate text, shadow, and decoration, nuh-uh. And honestly, I like all of that stuff that I just said because the Victorian and the vintage style is like my favorite. So this hurts a little bit to say, but I mean, I truly respect this design style. Number 2, Bauhaus loves geometry. Circles, triangles, squares, half moons, all of these are going to be overlapping and arranged together in a bold, dynamic composition, which you have probably seen before. So looking at a traditional Bauhaus design, you might think these shapes are kind of random, but they're not. They're specifically used to create harmony and balance. And on top of that, the designs with these flat, simple shapes are easy to reproduce in print or manufacturing. So this was also one of those guiding light principles of Bauhaus design because it was quick and easy for mass production with minimal materials. To put this into action yourself, it is actually pretty easy because you can use basic shapes as building blocks for your layout, and then you can build on it and just keep it balanced and intentional. If you are working in Kittl, you can find all of the shapes and pre-made shape grids you need over in our Elements panel. And we also have a lot of Bauhaus-inspired templates you can get started with as well. And you can also find some more interesting shape patterns and grids here too that don't stray too far away from the Bauhaus principles, and they're just a little more interesting for your posters or your logos, or maybe you're making POD products. And Japandi is another sort of sub-style of the Bauhaus niche that you might be interested in, and we've done a tutorial on that on the channel as well. But just remember, keep it simple. Okay, number 3, typography. When there's a Bauhaus style design with typography, the type is clean, bold, and generally a sans serif. The idea was that type should be legible and free of ornamentation so it's easy to read at a glance. Herbert Bayer, a Bauhaus student and teacher, even created Universal, a geometric typeface that eliminated capital letters to make writing more efficient, which in my opinion is actually kind of wild. I mean, when you see it on the screen, yes, it is legible for sure, but I'm not sure that one uppercase at the beginning of a sentence would have detracted from the efficiency, but that's just me. And if you're looking for Bauhaus-inspired fonts, you can check out some modern sans serifs like Futura. Futura was inspired by this movement, and it's a great choice, obviously. And of course, we have to mention Helvetica because we just have to, but there are other similar geometric fonts that are great options, and you can find these in Kittl. You can just hit the button up in the top right of the type settings panel and you can just select sans serif fonts, or you can narrow down your search by typing in something like modern, and you're going to find a ton of those options that are perfect for this style. Okay, we're halfway through the 6 key principles, but real quick, if you could do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, that would be incredible. It truly helps us out a ton. We'd love for you to join us on this design journey here at Kittl on the YouTube channel, and if you have questions so far, don't forget to drop them down in the comments below. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about asymmetry and grid layouts. Bauhaus compositions often feel dynamic because they embrace this asymmetrical style, but it is controlled, and if you're wondering what that means, an asymmetrical grid layout typically has structure where elements are arranged without mirroring each other or having equal halves to the design. So these designers used grids to create balance, letting text and shapes play off each other without feeling chaotic. It was orderly but not boring because they would draw the eye to a certain weighted part of the design, of course on purpose. And to start creating designs like this yourself, you're going to build your design on a grid, which you can do very easily in Kittl, and then you can experiment with off-center layouts. You can balance your shapes and types so that weight feels even if it's not perfectly symmetrical. Number 5 is color. Bauhaus color schemes are often primary colors like red, yellow, blue, and they're paired with a black, white, or gray, and sometimes an off-white or a tan. Now why? Well, because the colors are bold, reproducible, and high contrast. They are also simple and create a clean, modern look at the same time. So they work well for architecture and home design, just as they do for posters, signage, and product packaging that needs that clean, modern look. So the key here is for you to stick to a few strong colors. Use them in blocks or large areas for maximum impact. Just make sure you're keeping things legible and contrasting from the background. But definitely don't be afraid to steer away from the red, black, or yellow look. Just keep it limited, like you can see in some of these Kittl templates here. The designers of these templates did a fantastic job of spinning off the traditional Bauhaus look into something more original and modern for today. And last but certainly not least, one of Bauhaus's biggest contributions to graphic design was the idea that type and imagery should work together, not be separate. So instead of putting text up underneath a box under an image, the words should be overlapping or maybe wrapping around shapes, or the type was used as part of an image itself. And to create this, you're going to think of text as a design element, not just simple words on a page. So in other words, you're going to let your type interact with shapes and layout. Play with the scale and other text transformations to get more unique designs. All right, these were your 6 principles that start to give you the blueprint for crafting your own Bauhaus designs. And a lot of the examples we showed you in this video, like we mentioned before, are templates in Kittl that you can easily go in and edit, pick apart, and learn how they were put together. So if you want to try it, you can sign up using the link down below to get started completely for free. Kittl works right in your browser, and you can use all the fonts, text effects, transformations, and templates to nail down this style, as well as many other styles we've talked about here on the channel. But right before you go, I want to know what you think about Bauhaus design. So drop a comment down below, as well as any other design styles you'd like us to do a deep dive on. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any other videos just like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.